Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's check. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we poppin', let's go.
Yo, what's going on? This is Dave, one half of PNP. Rashad is not here. That man has this thing called a vacation. I'm going to let that man have his vacation, man. So you're going to have to just enjoy me for the next hour or so. We got a lot of things to discuss. A lot of things that happened over the past week that we'll get into. There'll be some other things that we'll go on. And I'm going to try to have some level of levity, so to speak, and we're going to go over these topics one by one. I will be looking in the chat. Just if you don't know, make sure you always follow us on Twitter at Panther Nation PC. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. Thanks for the folks who are watching on Facebook as well. We're also on Periscope, or Periscope's dead now. I'm sorry. So we're on Twitter live as well. So let's get it going. We're going to get this thing popping. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a pretty good one. I mean, I think the focus for me right now is primarily the fact that my daughter is turning 15 tomorrow. And, we're like, it's different. My daughter's been in high school. She's a freshman in high school right now. So it's just a little bit different. But she turns 15 tomorrow. So, that'll probably be the focus from that standpoint. And shout out to Cuddy Cutright. I can bop to our intro as long as we keep the intro. It's going to take a lot for me to be convinced to go to a different intro at this point. But yeah, man, we're in it. We're in it. But overall, weekend was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Things are changing at work. So I got an interview lined up this week. So we'll see how it goes this week. But overall, life is good. Can't really complain too much from that standpoint. But like I said, we just prepping for my daughter's birthday. She was supposed to do a paint event yesterday. It got canceled. I'm going to take some of her friends to the movies on Friday, so it's going to be a good week. But let's get into some of the topics at hand. But before we get into Panthers topics, I need to say rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. Very tragic thing that we heard on Saturday. That one kind of hit me because my man was 24 years old. He was a month away from turning 25. He's an Ohio State legend. I think there were some folks within the media that felt a certain type of that kind of didn't cover it the way they need to cover it. But I think we got to understand that, these players are human beings as well. And I think that's missed a lot in the 24-hour news cycle and things of that sort. That man had a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man had a life outside of playing football. He had other things going on in his life. And it was very tragic news. And whenever somebody that young passes away, and the way that he passed away, I mean, he got hit by a dump truck on the highway, from what I understand. It's just tragic. Like, it's just tough. And I think, moments like these is a friendly reminder that we're all human beings too. I mean, we tend to be, we're all guilty of it. We're always critical about how well people play in a game, but I mean, there's more to it than just the game. But rest in power to Dwayne Haskins. My condolences go to him and his family. I thought about getting into the whole thing with some of the way that the media handled it. Like, I know Adam Schefter Shefty kind of went went out of pocket, but he's apologized. I listened to his apology and I respect his apology, but you know, I think that's going to be up to the folks that he's covering to respect this apology as well. All right. Now, we need to have some discussions when we talk about people, about players playing bad and things of the sort. We do need to have a discussion. So, you know, Sam Darnold is a good quarterback, guys. At least that's what he pretty much said in a recent interview. Now, I'm going to be clear when I say this. I think when it comes to the draft, this upcoming draft within the next couple of weeks, I don't think we should take a quarterback. I think I've been very clear in my sentiment of that. I don't think we should take a quarterback. Because considering the circumstances with the head coach, if we do make the decision to take a quarterback, I want to make sure he gets a fair shake. And I think bringing in a brand new quarterback in this scenario doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get a fair shake. But Sam Darnold, he's out here saying that, you know, he's a good quarterback. And I'll read his quote. It's truly like whatever happens, happens. They asked him about how he felt about the situation, you know, the fact they were, you know, going after other options and potentially drafting a quarterback early. And I quoted, truly like whatever happens, happens, because at the end of the day, it's out of my control, and I know that. I have enough security in myself to where I could be like, I know I'm a good quarterback. I know I can be a good quarterback in this league. I proved it. And I know there's a team, if something happens, that will want me. No, I don't want to play the clip. No, because I'll get annoyed if I play the clip. But my thing is, I think Sam feels like he's secure, and I wouldn't doubt that security, because I've always felt like Matt Rule needed to kind of lay in the bed that he needed to sleep in the bed he laid in, that he made, right? Like he kind of was a factor in making the decision to bring Sam here. So from my standpoint, I don't think we should. I think we should try to build a team and getting a quarterback that could potentially get a quarterback that could potentially end up off this team in 2 years is not the move, especially if you think there's going to be some coaching changes. And that being said, I know Malik Willis has the highest upside, but if you're Matt Rule and you got to win now, I don't think Malik Willis is the pick, guys. I think he's going to go with Kenny Pickett. And Kenny Pickett doesn't have a higher floor than Malik Willis, but Kenny Pickett is more NFL ready. So when you think about it from that standpoint, then you have to come to the debate of, well, can Kenny Pickett beat out Sam Darnold? I don't think Malik Willis can, guys. I think Malik Willis needs to sit. I think Malik Willis needs to get drafted to a situation where he can sit a year. Like I don't see it, you know. Let me see here. I'm gonna go through the comments real quick. Aggie pride indeed, Drea. Aggie pride indeed. But nah, here's the thing about QB. Here's the thing about Darnold, man. I mean, oh yeah, he's a good quarterback compared to me. He's probably a good quarterback to most of the folks in this chat. But his numbers don't scream good quarterback right now. But I think he might have an inkling that he might be safer than what the fan base realizes. Yeah, he was on. Yeah, the name it was the but he was on Bussin' with the Boys. Taylor Lewan, I think his name is. He was on Bussin' with the Boys. So let's see here. I mean, Sam could be better, could be worse. I think Sam is who Sam is. Let me see here. Y'all want me to play the clip? Hold on. Let me see if I can find the clip. Give me a second. See if I can find the clip. Let me see if I can find a clip for you guys, man. You guys out here having me work. I don't like working. You know that. Hold on. Let's see if I can find this clip. Let's see. I don't know if this is the one. Let's see. Let me see. Give me a second, guys. I mean, all you need is one team, guys. I think personally, all it takes is an injury, and a team would be desperate. Let me see here. Yo, Rashad's on vacation, man. Rashad's on vacation. Rashad let me know yesterday he wasn't going to be able to make it on tonight. Dude, it could be any team. All you need is one team to like you, just like how he ended up with us. We thought that Sam Darnold could be recovered. All you need is one team, buddy. All right. Let me see if I can make this work. All right. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this or not. Give me 1 second.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, part that pisses me off is when people judge like my game, like how I'm playing. Then I'm like, hey, bud, like, go strap it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, you're a fan, and I respect you being a fan, and you can talk all the shit you want, and I'm not going to do anything about it at the end of the day. But like, take it easy. Like, what if I was like, hey, like, the house you just worked on, piece of like, like, you're so bad at tiling. Like, you should really go get another job. Really think about your profession. Yeah. You know, it's like sometimes you just want to say. Part that pisses me off is when people.
Could y'all hear that? Just let me know whether or not y'all could hear that. If y'all heard that or not. If not, then I'll because I know that wasn't the right clip. I got to look for the right clip because I thought that was the right clip. That was not the right clip. But give me confirmation of whether or not you guys could hear that. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and close that. Y'all already see those. Yeah, man. Like, listen, man. Like Sam. I think Sam's safer than what we realized. Let me go see if I can find this clip. Let me pull this up real quick. Let's see if I can find that. All right, here it is. All right, give me a second, guys.
It truly is, and this is kind of where you're not going to believe what I say, but just bear with me. I'll be ready. Yeah. It truly is like whatever happens, because that's at the end of the day, like it's out of my control. Yeah. And I know that. And so I have enough security in myself to where I can be like, I know I'm a good quarterback. I know I can be a good quarterback in this league. I've proved it. And I know there's a team, if, you know, something happens, that would want me. It truly is.
So yeah, man. So, you know, Darnold. I can't knock Darnold for thinking that he could turn this around. I just don't think the reality of the fact is, I mean, you expect your quarterback to be confident. It would have just been nice if he did that more often during the season. But either way, I just think that the decisions that were made when we traded for Sam has to come to roost. We can't keep playing roulette with these quarterbacks. And don't get me wrong, there's still a scenario where we could legitimately take a quarterback. I just think I think the value is not there at 6. That's just my opinion on it. And I've always felt that way. So, anywho, with regards to Sam is Sam. We're kind of, he's going to probably end up being on our roster unless we decide to release him. We got enough cap space to do it if we wanted to. So there is that aspect of it. I mean, we could talk about, all right, maybe with an improved O-line, maybe Sam will play better. That's very possible, although the statistics show that he throws his picks in clean pockets too. So, it'd be nice. I mean, maybe we'll see what happens. I just think taking a quarterback in the first round is an intrinsic risk from the standpoint of you don't have a second or a third round pick. You don't pick again until 137, I believe. So you got a long time before you can get to another pick. So utilizing a 6th pick is not the business when it comes to taking a quarterback, because you're not going to be able to put pieces around that quarterback unless you feel confident that the pieces that you already have is good enough. And I think people are underestimating the concept of rookie quarterbacks playing. None of these guys are Justin Herbert. Like, I think there's some people who think they are, which is kind of wild. But none of these guys that are sitting in this draft is on that Justin Herbert steez. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I know folks don't want to deal with another Sam Darnold season. Believe you me, I don't either. But I think it's more imminent than we realize from that aspect. I just think as Panthers fans, we need to kind of just brace ourselves, because I would rather sit here and have another Sam Darnold year than we trade assets to get back into the trade picks to get back into the second or third round, or have to trade. If we trade back, I would love that. If we trade back, get 2 picks, and then maybe take a quarterback later, I'm cool with that. Drafting at 6 and taking a quarterback just doesn't sit right with me. But I have a feeling that's what we might end up doing. But we'll see. I mean, look, man, Tepper ain't gonna lose no money. Well, speaking of losing money, let's talk about losing money for a little bit. We need to talk about the Tepster and Rock Hill. We got to have a discussion about this. So, quick disclosure: me and Rashad thought about going live, but I knew he was on vacation, so I didn't want to do that. So I made the decision to wait it out till today. So from that standpoint, the Rock Hill situation is unique in a multitude of ways. And those who follow my private, well, it's not really private, but my personal account on Twitter at champd1012, I've talked a little bit about this whole Rock Hill situation. The Rock Hill situation is wild. For those who don't know, the plan was to build the headquarters and training facility in Rock Hill, South Carolina. 2 states, 1 team, that whole spill. I thought it was a big deal. I would think that long term, potentially you move training camp to that, maybe, possibly. And we're one of the only NFL teams that don't have an indoor training facility, so that we kind of have one now, but we have a bubble. But either way, the bottom line is they was gonna build a state-of-the-art facility, and it was gonna be the headquarters for the team, which would have been good, and it would have been a boom for Rock Hill, South Carolina. I mean, the home values went up because of the talks of this facility being built, but it appears that David Tepper has abandoned the project. And it's a matter of whether or not they're going to going to come back to the table. The way I understand it is that they had an agreement in place. Rock Hill was supposed to pay $225 million off of bonds. They haven't paid their end of the bargain. It was due last year, and Tepper has decided to stop the project, abandon the project. Now, there's a couple factors involved when you make the decision to abandon a construction project like this, because it's a big boom. It's a big boom. So I think like the politicians are like, yeah, man, we need to come back to the table because things have changed due to the pandemic. Because remember, like, this deal was made prior to COVID making an appearance. So the cost has gone up for certain things. And I think the problem is that they want to go back. They want to go back to the table. And it looks like Tepper's been spending his money throughout this whole thing. But now, like, he's stopping the project because Rock Hill hasn't done their end of the bargain. Rock Hill wants to go back to the table. But the reality is that Tepper's like, a deal's a deal. And so he's like, well, if you ain't going to do your end of the bargain, I'm going to walk away. And like from Tepper's standpoint, he's going to lose the money that he invested in, and he's going to lose the tax credit he was supposed to get a few years later. But the city of Rock Hill will lose much more than that. And it's primarily about I guess it was supposed to connect to I-77 and the infrastructure that's involved in that. So it's if Tepper doesn't come back to the table, guys, somebody's gonna have to foot the bill to fix the situation at hand. And it's probably gonna fall squarely on the taxpayers of Rock Hill, which is kind of sad. I mean, we can always have a debate, we can have a discussion about who should be paying for these things, but the bottom line is you have these politicians that want to back out on deals, and you got a billionaire who's the richest NFL owner, the only NFL owner that was on the Forbes list of the top 10 sports billionaires in all sporting leagues. He's the only one in the top 10. No other NFL owner is in the top 10. He's the only one there. And I think he was number 8, if I remember correctly, according to Forbes. You're messing around with a billionaire that bought his former boss's house just to tear it down to build a bigger one. So, like, the cloud is different here. I mean, so from that standpoint, I feel for Rock Hill, but Tep might, dude, like, he could abandon this. And there's nothing that Rock Hill can do. Now, it'll be interesting to see how the NFL is going to react to this, because if that does happen, the NFL, I could see Rock Hill trying to sue, even though I don't know if they have much of a case. If Tepper feels like he did his end of the bargain and Rock Hill did not, they might not have much of a case. And I think those politicians are going to find that out. And some of those politicians are running for office very soon. So it's not going to look good for that city right now, I will say. Let me see here. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, that's been a talk, but we'll see. I mean, truth be told, I would embrace it. That would be doing us a favor. Believe it or not. Let's see here. Let me see. But for the city of, and I said this on Twitter, and people got angry when I said this, but I said for the city of Charlotte, you need to be concerned. You need to be concerned about the fact that that when it becomes time to build a new stadium, and the city of Charlotte decides that they want Tepper to pay for the whole thing, Tepper's gonna shop this franchise. Like, don't let Charlotte FC fool you guys. He wouldn't be the first NFL owner that has teams in different cities, and he probably won't be the last. So don't let that shock you. So I mean, you can look at it like that. I mean, I'm not going to talk about I'm from South Carolina, man. I was born and raised in Columbia, and the politics in South Carolina has always been wacky. I've never like, there's a level of wackiness in South Carolina politics that no state can compete with. We don't know who's going to be elite, and that's the thing you guys fail to realize. We're all guessing right now. I mean, it's a 50% clip. I mean, if you all you need to do is look at the 2018 draft to show you that. But does he have an arm? Sam's got a stronger arm. It ain't about accuracy, because sometimes it's about the big arm too. So, I don't think folks realize that. See, this is where I'm going to explain to you why drafting a quarterback at 6 could be bad news. You have a coaching staff who has a bias towards the current quarterback that's starting. Okay, you have a head coach right now who has shown that he's not going to give a fair shake to a quarterback competition. And if he feels like he doesn't believe in any of those quarterbacks and he's forced to draft a quarterback at 6, you have a situation where he's not going to give a fair shake to Kenny or Malik. All right. We already saw the situation with Sam and Cam. So I don't understand why you guys think that a quarterback's going to get a fair shake in competition. Yeah, because I thought the thing is that infrastructure is supposed to be part of the interstate, and you got to do all the other stuff like the water and everything else got to get done. And I guess that $225 million that Rocco's supposed to pay was supposed to be for that. So Tepper's like, yo, man, I've been waiting for this for a while. And I guess Tepper's been paying the folks when they technically shouldn't have been paying them. Tepper's been paying it because he knew that he thought the money was coming. And once it was realized that money wasn't coming, he just said, all right, we're done here. Let's see. Look, man, it doesn't matter. You guys really see. And the other thing you guys need to think about too, man. I want you guys, and I'm gonna take a break on topics for a second and go over some of the things that we've already gone over. What I need you guys to understand is that you can't let your hatred for Sam Darnold cloud your judgment. And I think that's what some of you guys are doing. I think a lot of you guys are not fans of Sam, and you're ready to just go ahead and blow everything away. And I don't think that's the route. I don't think that's the right route. That's the right approach. I think we're out here. You guys, the hatred for Sam Darnold is like imminent. And I understand why you guys feel a certain type of way about him. But I really think we need to sit down and think about the entire picture when it comes to that. Let me see something. I'm trying to check something real quick. All right. So from that perspective, I just think I'm not a big fan of Sam Darnold either, but you also got to think about the reality from the standpoint of the rest of the coaching staff and who and whether or not they want to win. Like, you got to remember, this coaching staff needs to win now. Putting a rookie quarterback in a situation isn't a win now type of situation. Let's see here. Let's see. This ain't necessarily Matt's decision alone anymore. Yeah, this is, dude, like, I was thinking it's gonna be one of these two guys if they fall. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Charles Cross as well. Although shout out to Sheena Quick and Jordan Reed, both from High Point. Jordan Reed worked for ESPN and Sheena Quick works for is independent media for Carolina Blitz. I think there was a crazy stat that Jordan Reed said during they did an IG Live today that saying that 80% of the snaps that Charles Cross played in Mississippi State were pass. So he's a hell of a pass protector. But he's still trying to learn run protection. And considering what we're trying to do in Carolina, I think we're trying to be more of a run-first team, and particularly Ben McAdoo is that. Don't know if Charles Cross is a fit. Because I still think we could probably take him, but that's a possible concern of mine from that standpoint. But I do think if Neal or Icky falls, I think that's the pick. I really do. I think that's the pick over any quarterback. For now. Yeah, man. Like, I don't think a rookie quarterback is going to save his job. I don't. I think a playoff berth is going to save his job. And he's got to get it at all costs. I could see a scenario where a rookie quarterback, if he ends up starting a rookie and we end up going like 8-9, he can argue, hey, man, we're almost there. And he might get one more year, but we'll see. So, yeah, we got a pretty hard schedule as well. Who do I see starting that week 1 quarterback? Sam Darnold. That's who I see. All right, so we're I need to go ahead and do some pay some bills. So shout out to Underdog Fantasy. If you guys don't know, Underdog Fantasy is the place you want to go to do pick'ems. They do best ball leagues for multiple sports, including Major League Baseball. They do esports. They do MMA, particularly UFC. I mean, UFC just had a big event. They do golf. They did a lot of stuff for the Masters recently, and they're going to do more PGA tournaments. And NFL is the swim lane. NBA playoffs is about to start. They do a lot of work regards to that. So go to underdogfantasy.com. Use the code PNP when you sign up. Really helps out the channel. Once again, underdogfantasy.com. Sign up. Use the code PNP when you do. And like I said, like pick'em, the pick'ems are awesome. You can win up to 20 times your money. So if you put a slip in for $25, you can leave with 500. If you hit all 5, the odds you got to pick them. You do over unders to certain things. If you think that Jason, and you can mix between different sports. If you're into baseball and basketball, you could have a couple baseball pick'ems with a couple basketball pick'ems for the same night. They can go for multiple nights as well. They do it based on points, rebounds, strikeouts, things of that sort, depending on what you're into. Once again, underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP. And make sure you guys like the channel, man. Like the video. It helps with the algorithms. Let's see here. I mean, we've been Grandizer, bro. We've been retooling the entire time. We don't know what a rebuild is in Carolina because everybody's worried about their job. Let's see here. Green eggs and ham, Sam, my aunt. I'm not gonna put that up there. Of course, you missed the Sam Darnold talk, but we know what it is, man. Sam out here copping, please. Appreciate the support from Brazil. So, we international up in this piece. With the Panthers value penning over Cross because of scheme fit. Nah, I don't think they're going to take Penny that high. Not at 6. I think they'll take Cross. I think if Neal and Icky's gone, they're going to probably take Cross. Yeah, like we should be running up the board if Neal or Icky's there, man. And there's a possibility, especially if we have like somebody was talking about the Saints might potentially trade up, and I think that's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, they already got 2 picks, in the middle of the first round, so they could trade. They could package those 2 picks to trade up. But the thing about that is, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to pass Carolina. And if they do take a quarterback there, that's going to help us because that could potentially mean that one of the tackles might fall to us potentially. Let's see. I think we should take. I wouldn't be mad at it though. I wouldn't be mad at it. Strap it up, bro. Yo, Darnold was hilarious, man. Jameis ain't making QB1 money. Supposedly he was asking for $35 million a year, though. And it was overdue, man. I had meetings today, and I need to cut it. It was long overdue. Since we're not masked up anymore, I can't be out here looking like Scruff McGruff all the time. But I have one more topic that I want to talk about, and then I'll take questions and talk about whatever Panthers wise, life wise, whatever. We gotta talk about Wilks, man. Like for those who don't know, man, Steve Wilks made the decision. He was one of the 2. There was reports saying that there was two folks that were going to jump on a lawsuit with Brian Flores, and Steve Wilks is one of them. So from that standpoint, it's going to get interesting real fast. But there was talks that when we brought in Steve Wilks, that folks were kind of like, yeah, if Rule gets fired, maybe we'll let Wilks get the opportunity. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If Rule gets fired mid-season, I don't know if I want Steve Wilks taking over because he's not going to get a fair shake. I mean, that's just the reality of the fact. He's not going to get a fair shake. Oh, y'all didn't get a mock draft Monday? I got to figure out if there's a free mock draft tool to use because I don't have the account info that Rashad has. Let me see if I can find a mock draft tool to use. Maybe we can do one. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right. I got one. We'll use this. All right. We'll use this. Okay. So we'll do one. We'll do one after I go over Wilks. We'll do a mock draft. Yeah, that is right. Yo, when Rashad's on vacation, bro, he on vacation, and I don't blame him. He should be on vacation. Yeah, I'll use PFF, but yeah, this is interesting, man. I think when the Flores lawsuit first was reported, the first coach I thought about that should absolutely join it, because he was talking about, oh, we need other folks to join. The first coach I thought about that should join is Steve Wilks. I think a lot of folks thought maybe Hugh Jackson. No. Steve Wilks, because Steve Wilks got the rawest of deals, and from that standpoint, he never really had an opportunity to excel. And the lawsuit talked about how he wanted to trade up to get a different quarterback, and they ended up with Josh Rosen. So, yeah, he didn't really get a good deal from that standpoint. So when you take all those things into account, I have no problem with. I'm not shocked that Wilks jumped into this lawsuit. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. And the situation with Mike Mularkey is wild. Mularkey 2 years ago pretty much admitted that he knew he had the Titans job before they interviewed anybody. They called him, pretty much said he had a job, and they did all these fake interviews, including having him do a fake interview, even though he knew already had a job. So it's just, it should be interesting to see. But I think the Mike Mularkey situation, and that was with the other coach that jumped on the suit, Ray Horton. The Mike Mularkey, is it Ray Horton or Rod Horton? I think it's Ray Horton. Let me double check that. I don't want to be wrong with that. Yeah, Ray Horton. So I think the situation with the Titans is a smoking gun. So when you take those things into consideration, and Brian Flores added the Texans, because the bottom line is he thinks the Texans didn't hire him because of the lawsuit. So that's retaliation. You can't do that. You're not supposed to do things like that. So we'll see what happens here. I don't see Eric B joining that lawsuit, man. But we'll see. It'll be interesting, man. I disagree. I think Flores got a legitimate beef. I can name others that have legitimate beefs too. I think the NFL was hoping that this was going to go away, and it's not going to go away. So it'll get interesting. It's going to get interesting fast, and it'll be interesting to watch it go. No, a lot of folks ain't talking about this. A lot of folks ain't talking about this at all. Oh no, it's actually it's actually not as hard as you think, sir. Because you got to think about the history. How you think Lovie Smith got hired? Go back and look at the timeline. Lovie Smith came out of nowhere, like an RKO for Randy Orton. Out of nowhere. And do I think he deserved the opportunity? Absolutely. But he came out of nowhere. Like literally out of nowhere. I think if the lawsuit didn't happen, a few things would have been different. I think Sean Payton would be coaching the Dolphins. I think Josh McCown would be the head coach of the Houston Texans, and Tom Brady would be the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I think those things align. I think the Flores lawsuit changed a lot of things. A lot of things. I met DDP at WrestleMania, which was pretty cool. I like Diamond Cutter as well. Well, you see, the problem is that there's no transparency in the hiring processes. And I think that's all you got to I think if you can create some transparency within the hiring processes, that'll show progress in itself. And this is coming from somebody who hires people. You got to have transparency in the hiring process. That is a fact, Jack. Well, he would probably be a coordinator somewhere, but he wouldn't be a head coach. Although I think that he got a raw deal in Tampa Bay too. Like, I don't think people people got to remember Lovie Smith got fired after having a winning record in Chicago. He got fired in Tampa Bay because they were afraid they were going to lose Dirk Cutter. So they fired him so they could keep Dirk Cutter because they were worried they were going to lose Dirk Cutter. And at the time they were trying to get Jameis right. So Lovie got fired because of that. So we'll see. Believe you me, bro, the NFL has no interest for this case to be public. They want to get this thing settled outside of court as soon as possible. They want to have it in some solid arbitration. They don't want nothing to come out to the public. So if it goes to court and it becomes a public case, it becomes a different ball game. And I think Brian Flores is about that life. Everything I'm seeing based on how things are going with that, Flores is going to go for the long haul. I don't think Flores wants to settle. I know the $1 Million Man has said everybody has a price, but I don't know I think that price is very high. Higher than what Kaepernick's price was. Let's put it to you that way. It don't matter how much NFL's willing to pay if Flores doesn't want to take it. It's that simple. This is about pride, man. Like I think there's more to it. Sometimes it ain't about the money that you can pay off, but we'll see. It's going to cost him a lot of money. But I'm happy that Steve Wilks decided to join the lawsuit. I'm curious to see if there'll be more people that's going to add on to the lawsuit. There's other possibilities. But because Steve Wilks is currently a coach for the Panthers, I thought it was important to bring this up. Now that we got all that out the way, I'm going to close this banner. And we can start talking about other things. You think Snyder's going to be forced to sell the team if we're holding money from the other teams is true? Yup. Let me tell you something. Sexual harassment ain't going to be enough to get rid of an owner unless you're Jerry Richardson. Dan Snyder's an interesting owner, though, because I thought Jerry Richardson had clout. I learned he didn't have enough. Dan Snyder's tight with Jerry Jones, so it's going to get interesting fast on how much clout Dan Snyder truly has. But if he's out here stealing money from other owners, he ain't going to have too many friends. I can tell you that right now. He's not going to have too many friends. People don't realize this, but when Flores got fired, he didn't sign his non-disclosure agreement. So he's not getting paid for the remainder of his contract, and he had a few years left. Just want to bring that out there for you. So that when he said that, that's when I knew he's in this thing for the long haul. He's not getting paid by the Dolphins. Because typically when you get fired from a job, you sign that agreement, you get the rest of your money from your contract, and you walk away. He ain't signed it. He's not getting paid by the Dolphins. He's getting paid by the Steelers. And the Steelers only. Don't forget, Lovie Smith has been to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as the starting quarterback. I just want you guys to remember that. Rex Grossman. Let me see here. Is Davante Adams still? No, I don't, dude. No, I don't. I owe you guys a fantasy show, but I think I'm gonna wait till after the draft to do it. But I will tell you this, man. I don't know if I'm touching Davante Adams in the first round. I think, and I'm not knocking Derek Carr. I just don't know if he's going to give you the same type of numbers he gave you last season with Derek Carr as your quarterback. And it's going to be interesting to see because Hunter Renfrow. Like, we got to take Hunter Renfrow into account too. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm willing to take him in the first round right now. I mean, but we can say the same thing for a few other wide receivers because of the teams that they went to. Don't trust Tyreek Hill that early either anymore. So, yeah, the wide receiver rankings is going to be interesting this year because a lot of the quarterback changes. Let's see. I think CMC is still worth the first round pick. Number one overall, I'm not ready to say that quite. I'm not ready to commit to that. But I think you still take him in the first. And if you can get him, if folks are afraid of him and he falls to the second, what a value you get, sir. I know you have every reason to be skeptical about whether or not Christian McCaffrey can recover from this, but let me tell you something. I think the usage is going to be there. Even if they're trying to tone it back, the way that Ben McAdoo wants to perform, I think the usage is going to potentially be there. I would argue they might not need to. I think we're the only team that's like super hungry to take a quarterback this high. People got to remember prior to these pro days and the combines, a lot of folks didn't think there was a first round quarterback in this draft, guys. So I think the Steelers unless the Steelers really love somebody, I don't think they need to trade up. I think they could probably get Pickett or Willis where they're at. I know that's hard to believe, but very, very possible. I think Waddle's going to give you the better value. I think people are going to be reaching for Tyreek, but you know, I haven't started doing drafts yet. But let me tell you, I think people are going to be reaching for Tyreek. He wants to vote to the third round, bro. He won't get out the first in most drafts. I'm gonna be clear, because the usage, he's gonna get a lot of more usage than most running backs will get nowadays. If they don't draft a quarterback, that'll be smart. I ain't saying taking him first overall. I'm saying he's a first round pick, and I think he's gonna go in the first round, especially considering the wide receiver situation. Like Devontae Adams is a tough sell right now. Tyreek Hill is a tough sell right now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough sell right now, and I have DeAndre Hopkins as a keeper. Like I would argue Travis Kelce over all of them right now. I would rather have Travis Kelce than those wide receivers I just named, because I know Travis Kelce is going to get the usage. No. Barkley and McCaffrey are two different situations, man. I ain't ready to say that on Barkley. Barkley can't be trusted. And I don't think Barkley's been the same post injury. Like at least when we've seen McCaffrey come back, we've seen McCaffrey still get the usage and ball. The concern you have with McCaffrey is the injuries. We saw Barkley come back and he hasn't looked good at all. He hasn't looked like the guy that you drafted him to be. Yo, listen to Tim, man. Hit that like button. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. Having a quarterback doesn't mean we should draft one. Because when you draft a quarterback that isn't worth the pick, you're gonna burn yourself. You're gonna have high expectations for a guy. Like if you draft Malik Willis and he doesn't start week 1, y'all are gonna be furious. This fan base will be furious if we draft a quarterback at 6 and he doesn't start week 1. Furious. If we draft a quarterback at 6 and Sam Darnold's trotting out there week 1, this fan base will be furious. Furious. And y'all know y'all be furious. We know y'all will be. And there's no guarantee that neither one of them are going to beat out Sam Darnold. I think folks think that's a done deal. No, it's not. It's not. Like, we're assuming that we know how good these guys are going to be. We don't. These scouts get it wrong a lot. And they get it wrong both ways. Because nobody saw Justin Herbert coming. Nobody. Yeah, about that Broncos wide receiver situation. I don't know how I feel about that right now, man. Like, I'm looking at the head coach for Green Bay. the head coach for the Broncos who used to be in Green Bay, I look at the fact that we have Russell Wilson, and I look at the fact they have a good run game, and I don't know who's going to be the guy. Because Russell historically would spread it pretty nice between the two receivers. But Nathaniel Haskins is probably going to potentially try to run the ball more. Like, I don't think people realize how much the Packers wanted to run the ball. So we'll see. That'll be an interesting one to think about. Dude, I can relate. Not 2 years in a row, but I understand. I mean, it's the risk you take. Ever since McCaffrey got that contract, he's been getting hurt. Oh, you can't touch nobody. You can't touch nobody in Seattle until you figure out who the hell the wide receiver is, who the quarterback is. Because if it's Drew Lock, you can forget McCaffrey. You can forget Metcalf. You can forget Lockett, bro, if it's Drew Lock. We need to figure out who that quarterback's going to be in Seattle before I could properly rank the wide receiver situation there. I've been saying this for a while, guys. You guys got all this faith that Matt Rule's going to be able to pick the right. They're gonna pick the right person. Now, if you like, I trust Ben McAdoo to pick a good quarterback over everybody else there. I tried to warn y'all about this last year too, and y'all still, and a lot of you guys didn't want to give me my flowers about that. I tried to tell you guys as soon as we trade for Sam Darnold, we weren't going to take no Justin Fields. Y'all thought I was crazy. So that's why I wouldn't be shocked if we don't take another quarterback. Let's see here. You think it's Sutton? You don't think it's Tim Patrick? You don't think it's Jerry Jeudy? Javonte's interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna take him over McCaffrey, but he's interesting. I will say that. Shout out to Brazil. Let's see. Might have to take Cross at 6, bro. Cross ain't bouncing out the top 10. Oh, I knew the DJ signed it. Like, as soon as I saw DJ's contract, I knew that we got him for a bargain. Like, I just knew. Like, when I saw how much he was making, I think some people thought it was a lot, and I was like, nah, that's pretty cheap. And looks like I was right there. Thibodeau. If Thibodeau's there at 6, it's going to be hard to pass off on that because we need a pass rusher too, Thibodeau. This is where I'm at, guys. If you guys think Matt Rule's this is potentially his final year, then you don't want him drafting a quarterback, guys. You don't want a quarterback this year. Not one with 6. Because that's going to put the new coach in a rough spot. You're going to limit your options of who you can bring in as a head coach. Because if you draft a quarterback in the first round, you're going to have to, and you end up getting rid of Rule at the end of the 2022 season. You're going to have to find a head coach that's going to be willing that's going to be willing to work with the quarterback that they have. And some coaches don't want to do that. And that's the thing that some of this fan base is failing to realize. If you make the decision to take Malik Willis, or if you made a decision to take Kenny Pickett and Rule gets let go, now you have a situation where the new head coach is going to have to use this. Either we're going to have to draft another quarterback so the new head coach can feel comfortable with the quarterback that he has, or you're going to have to find a coach that's going to be willing to go with either Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. And that limits your pool a little bit. And I don't want to limit my pool. That's my dilemma. I want to be able because if Rule gets fired, that means we're in the top 5. We're probably top 10 in the draft again. So from that standpoint, if Rule gets fired, that puts us in a situation where we might have to take a quarterback. Even if we take one last year. Because I want to make sure we get the best coach. I don't want to get the coach that wants to work with the quarterback that we drafted, that the previous coaching regime drafted. I want a coach that is going to get the opportunity to get their own quarterback. To put it in perspective, let's think about it. Let's look at some history. Let's look at the last 3 head coaches the Panthers have had. John Fox came in 1 year after we drafted Chris Rinke late in the draft, who was terrible. He only had 1 win. He brought in a veteran quarterback to be his guy. All right. And then eventually he got to Jake, and then Jake became a Panthers legend from that standpoint. Okay. When John Fox left, they drafted Jimmy Clausen the final year of his season. When Ron Rivera showed up, they drafted Cam. You got to get your own guy. So now Matt Rule comes in. Cam Newton's here. They picked up Bridgewater. They let go Cam. You got to let the next coaching staff have the opportunity to get their own quarterback, because that's what they're going to live by. And right now, our current head coach is living by going off of multiple quarterbacks. So that's what it is. And I think that's the – oh, I'm sorry, Monica. That's not my intention, man. Shout out to you. I appreciate the support in Brazil. It's just, with everything else going on in the chat, it's hard for me to go with the translator too. Let's see here. Shout out to 4-Man Rush. See, yeah, Matt Corral is interesting, but I don't think he'll take Matt Corral at 6. He would definitely have to trade out of the pick. No way in hell. No way in hell. I don't see it. Well, I could see it if Hamilton falls, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Keeping a college coach will set you back. Yeah, that's true. Week 7. It all depends on where that schedule lands and where the bye week lands, man. Let's get it right. He had Sam and he had Teddy. Don't forget about Teddy. I still think he should have kept with Teddy. If we would have kept Teddy, we would have had our quarterback drafted. I just want to remind you guys of that. All right, let's do this mock draft, man. Let's do this mock draft. Let's get this mock draft popping. Let me share real quick. All right. I'm assuming you guys can see this. We'll do 7 rounds. We'll go with the Panthers and we'll draft. All right. If we have time, maybe I'll do 2. Now, I ain't college guy like you got, like Rashad. So for me, it's gonna be more of figuring this thing out as I go. So let's draft, man. Let's draft. All right, I'm going to do this draft. We'll do this draft without trading out of it. Unless y'all want to trade. Oh, I could trade. Yeah, we'll trade on this one. So the Jets are offering the 10th and the 35th pick. That seems like a pretty good deal. So I'm going to accept that one. Now, the thing that's interesting, though, you got to look who's on the board. Kyle Hamilton, Malik Willis, Icky, Jordan Davis, Charles Cross. So Cross might be there for us to take at 10. And then maybe we could potentially get a quarterback at 35. That would be a pretty good scenario right there. So we'll see. Icky is there, but let's trade down on this one. Then we'll do it again for the next round. I personally will probably take Icky here, but we'll trade on this one. Then we'll roll with it the next round. So Kyle Hamilton goes. Oh, that was close, huh? I want to trade again. I just want to see how it goes. Because we need picks. I want to trade again. You know what? I want to have fun. I'm going to trade again. I'm trading again, guys. Let's have some fun. All right. By the way, I would have took Cross there over Malik Willis. All right. Next. Yeah, these aren't realistic. This would be all right. We're not going to take them more. Next. I'll take that one. Go down one more pick. Yeah, I'll take that one. All right. We're not going to take them more. We're done. We're not going to take them more. All right. I know you guys are probably like pissed. All right. At 29, all right. I'm not going to do any more trades. I think I've created a bunch of picks for us. Let's see if we can rebuild this squad. See if we can save Matt Rule's job. All right, at 29, we could take Sam Howell here. How y'all feel about Sam Howell? All right, we could take Howell here, or y'all feeling good about these offensive linemen? Maybe Kenyon Green from Texas A&M. Linderbaum, is Linderbaum there? Is Linderbaum there? I didn't see Linderbaum. Is Linderbaum there? Oh, we could take Linderbaum here. Y'all thinking Linderbaum? Let's take a Linderbaum. Let's take Linderbaum. Let's get our center popping. So we'll take Linderbaum here. And then let's see what we got going right now. All right. I'm not going to do any more trades. I'm going to reject that offer. So for the second round, we have the 35th pick and we have the 57th pick. Do we have a third round pick? And we got 2 third round picks. So we got 2 seconds and 2 third round picks coming to us. Now, do we want to think about taking a linebacker here? Or do y'all want to take Howell? Do y'all want Howell or Ritter? Like, shout out to 4-man rush. Ritter will probably be the fit here. If we want to take this will be the time to take a quarterback. So do you want to take Ritter? And I think Ritter will probably be more of a realistic pick considering what we want to do for offensively. Or do you guys want to take Howell? Some people are saying Dean. So y'all want to take the linebacker. We can use a linebacker too. So you want to take a hot linebacker and risk seeing and see what'll be there at quarterback? We might not end up with a quarterback if we do this. So let's look at the quarterbacks to give you a perspective real quick. I'm open to take a linebacker because we definitely need one. We could take Carson Strong. He might be there for us. I don't think there's a guarantee that Ritter or Howell will be there. Our next pick is 57. So Strong could be there at 57. I don't think Howell and Ritter will be there. So do you guys want to take Dean or do you guys want to take Howell or Ritter? So let me see what y'all looking like. We need a linebacker bad too, bro. Dean, a lot of Deans. Ritter. Yeah, I agree, man. You know what? I agree. He would be pounding for Ritter at this point. So you know what? We're going to take Ritter. There's no guarantee Ritter will be there. So we'll take Ritter. We'll see what happens. There's no guarantee Ritter will be there, so. Strong would have been there. Reject. All right. So what do you want to do? We could take Christian Harris. How y'all feel about Christian Harris? Get a linebacker here. Y'all want to take Christian Harris? Yeah, I'm thinking Harris here. We need a linebacker bad. Like, I don't think folks understand how bad the linebacker situation is for us. I mean, anybody else you think we should take? Let's see. Let's look at I don't think there's anybody worth taking here. But linebacker, edge. I think best value right now is Christian Harris. We got 2 third-round picks, by the way, just so you know. 89 and 92. No, we got 3 third-round picks. I got 89, 92, and 103. You know, this is where we can get the bread and butter picks. Yeah, I'm going to roll with the linebacker. I know we need a linebacker bad. So let's take the linebacker. We got a little bit. We got 3 picks in the 3rd round, man. I got my, oh, well, he just went. Damn it. I was going to look at that edge rusher from South Carolina. No more. What we got here? Running back, wide receiver. Like Kennard from Kentucky. What y'all thinking, guys? What y'all thinking? I'm not trading the next draft. I'm going to change that joint to fast. Kobe Bryant, Mathis, Nick. Yeah, we do need an edge rusher. We could use it. We can use a defensive tackle too. And we could probably take the tackle and maybe the edge will probably fall to us. We only got the Bucks and the Titans between us. Yeah, all right, so let's do this. I'll take Mathis and see what happens. All right, we're gonna reject both of them. All right. All right, so now we definitely need an edge rusher right now, but we could also use another we can use an offensive lineman. Offensive tackle. I think I want to take Kennard here, man. I really do. I like Kennard out of Kentucky, and I'm afraid that he might not fall. He might be there at 103, but I'm so afraid. And I'll be crushed if he isn't. Thomas out of Oklahoma. All right, let's take the edge rusher. We need to get an edge rusher. Let's see. Maybe Kennard will fall to us, man. Let's see. Let's hope Kennard falls to us. Oh, look at God. Get Kennard. I'm not going to debate it. Get my boy Kennard from Kentucky. And now we got our next pick isn't until 137, I believe. Yep. Oh yeah, I did trade that away to the Jets. It's gonna be a while, man. We ain't got a 4th round pick. We good. We good. I'll take that. We were able to take advantage of a lot of other things. So we got 149 coming. Nah, we'll reject that. All right, what we looking like? So probably should try to get a corner right now. We get Lindstrom, but Smoke Monday. Well, I would love to take a Keel Glass, but we're actually a quarterback. What y'all talking? Yeah, we could take Smoke Monday here. Linebacker. Let's see. We'll be reaching whoever we take here. Could take Smoke Monday or take Marquise Bell. So what y'all thinking, man? Should we take a running back? What y'all thinking? Get a safety? Weatherford? Let's see what Weatherford's looking like. Y'all rather have Weatherford or Smoke? Gunter? Yeah, let's do Gunter. Let's get another edge rush. You never can have enough edges. We got a while before we pick again, too. I underestimate when our next pick is. Oh boy, I underestimated when our next pick is. Oh, it's coming up. Yeah, maybe I should have took Smoke. It's all right though. Oh, I could take this guy. We need a corner. I like this kid. No, it's a reach, but I don't care. Do we have any more picks left? Oh, this the last pick? All right. I know what y'all want. I'm not looking. I'm going to take a corner for the culture. Shout out to South Carolina State. I'm done. I ain't taking no more players. That's it. We'll do another draft. We'll do one without the trades. Overall, though, I think I'm happy with what we did. I think we did well. I think we did well from the considering the circumstances. I think we did well there. All right. We're almost done. All right, man. Look at this, man. We got Lindenbaum, Ritter, Harris, Mathis. Got a lot of Alabama here. Isaiah Thomas, Kennard, Gunter, and Jacoby Durant. And we get a 2nd round pick from Buffalo next year. I mean, I'm not that mad at this. And the thing is, we filled a lot of spots that we needed. We got a defensive tackle, we got an edge rusher, we got 2 offensive linemen, and we got a quarterback. And we didn't have to spend as much capital. It's some good building blocks. And if Ritter beats out Sam, which is possible, if that happens, then if there's a new head coach, we could see they might be more open to go take a guy because there's not as much draft capital because you're not worried about the 5th round selection. So I like that. I appreciate that because I don't watch that much. But but honestly, truth be told, I did my best Scott Fitterer impersonation at the beginning of this draft, trading back, to try to pick up some more assets, and end up getting a 2nd round pick from Buffalo in the final round. I mean, yeah, we probably could have took a safety instead of gunner, but we need help with the edges, man. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. So let's do one more. We're not going to trade on this one, all right? We'll change it to fast because we ain't got too many picks. So we'll change the fast. We'll go with the Panthers. We'll draft. We'll see what happens. Because we want to make this fast and furious. God, I like this, though. I will say. But I'm not going to do it. All right. Now, we're going to reject these offers. Reject. Of course, that'll never happen. And reject. All right. So, we have Malik Willis on the board. We have Trayvon Walker on the board, which is kind of wild. Because I would take that. And we got Icky. I would take Icky here. I'm taking Icky. Yeah, I'm taking Icky. Even though Walker is very very interesting. But I'm taking Icky here. Icky it is. I put it on fast because it's going to be a while, guys. I bet you every Panther fan wish it would be that fast in real life. But anyway, here we are, 137, 4th round pick. And what y'all thinking, guys? So we took Icky in the first. Quarterbacks. Here's your quarterbacks. Wow. There really isn't much quarterbacks to pick from here. I like Glass. But yeah. So what y'all thinking, guys? Let me see what the chat talking about. What the chat talking about? Edge and linebacker. All right, let's look at some edge. Edge. Michael Clements, Alex Wright, linebacker. Sam Houston, yeah, there ain't no linebacker love here. Best better probably be edge. This is ugly. Just remember Sam Darnold, CJ Henderson, guys. I sped it up so you guys didn't notice it. Yeah, I'm thinking Alex Wright too. We're not taking a quarterback. I think we're going to take Alex Wright from UAB. Let's keep it moving. All right, we got another pick. This is tough, guys. All right. We're in the 5th round here. Offensive line looks terrible. Oh, you could take another tackle. Take K. Mays out of Tennessee. Or Sayer. Mumford. I like Mumford too. Linebacker. Really ain't got options here. We could take a safety here if y'all want a safety. What's our next pick? Oh, we got another pick coming up, though. We got a pick coming right down the pipe. So we could take a safety here. Yeah. Let me see here. No. Yeah, let's take the guard. Let's fix the line. Yes, that was him. Yep. I grabbed him. Now I got another pick. No, I got another pick. We could take Lindstrom here. We could fix our. Well, I think at this point it would be excessive to take another lineman. Probably should take a safety or take somebody on defense at this point. Maybe Weatherston. We could take Lindstrom if you want, but or Smoke. You could take Smoke. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Smoke here. Let's take Smoke. We got a 7th. All right, so we can take. What y'all thinking here? I'm thinking about taking this take this linebacker from Jackson State. I don't know what y'all thinking, but I'm thinking about this linebacker from Jackson State. Take McFadden. Yeah, we can take McFadden. That's an option. Either him or get my HBCU game up to snuff. Ha 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 ha. We need a linebacker bad. But I think I'd rather take the kid from Jackson State, to be honest with you. You know what? I'm taking the kid from Jackson State. So be it. I'm taking James Houston the 4th. Yeah, man, this is an ugly draft, guys. Whew. This is woof. This is woof. Yeah. We could take. Ain't nobody worth taking. You know what? I'll just take this corner. And there's your draft, ladies and gentlemen. So when you think about that gap between 6 and 137, think about Sam Darnold and CJ Henderson. I mean, the best what you can. This is the best what you're gonna roll with. If we end up taking somebody at 6, it's gonna be a long way before we get another chance to take another person. You just got to take those things into account. Bad, man. It's just rough. I mean, it's just rough. I mean, you know, no, I agree. I think Henderson is worth a 3rd. It's just, you know, the 2nd and the 4th is coming out of this draft. So, no, the 2nd and the 3rd is coming out of this. Excuse me. All right. But yeah, man, that was fun. I enjoyed the first draft more. It was more willing and dealing. Yeah, but like I told Rashad, man, I said, look, man, if we end up taking a guy at 6, we ain't got to have a show day 2. Or we go live and we hear rumors that we go live and we trade in, but we ain't gonna have much of a show day 2 because we ain't got no picks day 2. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, those are the breaks. We ain't got no picks day 2. Steve, appreciate the super chat, sir. Do you know if Christensen hit the weights and added bulk over the offseason? Possibly at center. No, I haven't heard anything about that. I think Christensen's going to get an opportunity to start at left tackle, though, if we don't take a lineman early. So they'll get interesting fast from that aspect. But appreciate the super chat. And I haven't heard anything about Deontay Brown. You know, I would love to see Deontay Brown get more love. Depending on what we do with the draft, we might not have much of a choice. I think if we do take a lineman early, I mean, that could potentially spell his fate. But we haven't really discussed that much about that. But appreciate the super chat, Steve. Well, guys, this has been fun. I enjoyed this. Appreciate you guys coming. I'm gonna call it a night. You know, My wife is making a lot of noise, so I'm going to call it a night, and I will talk to you next week. And should be me and Rashad back next week. I don't think he's going to extend his vacation. He's somewhere out nice, so I can't knock him for that. But shout out to Rashad. All love. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at Panther Nation PC. Follow me on Twitter at ChampD1012. And become a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Panther Nation PC to become a Patreon. We got 3 tiers for that. And I'll talk to you guys later. And it's been real, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.